When I look at my wrist, one could think that the color TV has been terminated and we're back to black and white. I love black and white. Hello and welcome to Watch Maxie's Watch Videos. My name is Axel and I'm glad to have you back on the show. Today I'm going to show you a watch which is not so often seen and which will be not so often seen because it is new and it is limited to 96 pieces only. I talk about the Laco Edition 96. Last year Laco started to release special editions, limited editions. Last year was limited to 95 pieces. This year it's limited to 96. And over the next years will be 97, 98, 99. It's a kind of countdown to Laco's 100th anniversary coming soon. So they have a special edition countdown released in December of any year. And this is the Laco Edition 96. It is based on the Laco Sports Model series. So it has a same case. However, the usual sports models are very colorful. They come in orange, green, blue, have many colorful accents, but here we have a true watch which is black, white and gray only. And this is something I really liked. The edition was delivered end of January and I ordered it back in December, and it was a hard time waiting roughly 2 months before the watch was delivered. However, I must say I haven't been disappointed and I'm totally flashed by the watch. I really do like it. I'm going to show you some of the special items I really like in this video. Before that, I would like to show you how the watch sits on my wrist. And I used to have a 17 centimeter wrist, 6 3/4 inch, but during the COVID time I gained too much weight, so I may have 7.2, 7.3, but the watch still sits perfectly fine on my wrist, and I think even if I hopefully lose some weight going forward with 17 or 69, 68, the watch still looks great on my wrist. Yeah, it's a 42 millimeter watch, but I come to the tech specs in a minute. On my wrist, it sits really nice. It feels very comfortable. One point to mention, the watch was delivered with an extremely long strap, but I have a hole punch, so I had no issue to fit it to my needs, but I'm not a really good craftsman, so I have been slightly out of the line, so it should have been a little bit more to the right rather than to the left, but for the pin buckle it hasn't been an issue and it sits well, so I'm fine with that. By the way, Laco sent an email 1 day after delivery saying that some watches have been delivered with an XL strap and whoever wants to have a shorter one should give them a notice and would receive a shorter strap and a strap change tool without charge and no need to send back the longer strap. Absolutely great, absolutely perfect service from my point of view. By the way, when you see a red light on the glass, that's my video control light from the camera, so please ignore it. The watch has a diameter of 42 millimeter, an AR coated sapphire crystal on the front, a total thickness of 13.4 millimeter, a lug width of 20 millimeter, and a lug to lug span of 50.5 millimeter. The watch is water resistant up to 300 meter and has a Laco 200 based on the Zelita SW201. The watch strap tapers down from 20 millimeter to 18 at the buckle, which I personally really like. Well, that's my new camera and I like to be able to automatically zoom in and show you the watch a little bit closer. Yeah, that's the watch. As you can see, it's a true monochrome watch, black, white and gray, and a black case. Really, really nice. The strap is extremely thick. It's a 3-layer leather strap, and it's waterproof. Absolutely great. Unfortunately, the case is made in a way that is absolutely hard to clean it up for video footage. On the wrist you don't see anything, but here in the video you see so many spots on the watch, and I tried so hard, but I haven't been able to do it better than what you see here. Yeah, let's try it again and clean it up as good as possible, but you'll see it won't help much. On the wrist you don't notice it. The Lume is a special Lume. I'll come to that when I present you the Lume shot, but as you can see, the hour hand and the bezel is hard white. By the way, the bezel is a ceramic bezel, and it's pretty thin, which makes the dial appear much bigger than it is, and that is absolutely helpful overnight. Not only the case is black, but also the pin buckle, and the pin buckle is Laco signed. Let's see if I can get a better picture of it. Black on black is a nightmare. Here we go, here we have it. So it's Laco signed, really nice. And as I said, the strap is a water resistant leather strap, really thick. However, it's comfortable after a day or two. At the beginning it was a little bit stiff, but that's no complaint. On the outer side we have some engravement, and what I do like is the limitation number. The individual limitation number is engraved on the back of the watch, so you have an individual case back, not just limited to or one off. No, you've got your individual limitation number on the case of the back, so you have a real individual piece, an individual watch, and not just one off. The watch has been sold for 1,290 euro, which is big chunk more than the usual sports watches. The sports line of Lacos is sold at 930 euro on the rubber strap, and this one is a bit more expensive. Here you can see a little bit awkward shining light reflection. The case is perfectly produced and perfectly made, but the light reflection on the edge appears a little bit awkward. I have no idea whether it has been due to the drying of the watch or the coating, or the coating is too thick or too thin. I have no idea. But on the wrist you don't see anything of it, because there is no light coming from the arm to the watch, so you need a special light, a special angle to see it. It doesn't disturb me at all. Zippo, zero, nothing. But I wanted to share it with you because it's something special, and I just identified it on that one particular horn. The others are, from my point of view, perfectly done, and as I said, no complaint, just sharing my observation on that particular watch. So let's have a closer look. You can see the crown is signed with 96. And what I do like is the special shape of the bezel. You can see it narrows down from the glass side to the outer edge, and you have a little space underneath the bezel, which provides you a perfect grip. So it is absolutely grippy and it's easy to operate. However, it is a really, really defined bezel, and the notches and the pins of the bezel are extremely well designed and well defined, if not to say they are sharp. So it is not a watch under a long sleeve shirt, it is a watch for sports, and that's why the watch is in the line of the sports watches. My other sports watch, the Laco Atlantic, has the same kind of bezel, so I expected it to be that way. Just to mention it, it is not an everyday watch, irrespective of what you wear. The longer and the narrower the sleeve is, the more dangerous the bezel could be. Let's have a look at the Lume. I already mentioned that we have a special Lume here. C3 is known as the brightest and best in quotation marks Lume. Here we have on the hour hand C1 as well as on the outer bezel, and that's because C1 is hard white in daylight conditions. The minute hand is in gray, which is not as bright as C1, so we have C3 as the top-notch Lume, then we have C1 significantly less bright and shiny. However, when I activate the watch at 11 or 11:30 in the night, I can perfectly read it throughout the night, even at 4 or 5 in the morning. It is sufficiently bright to read it, and that's because the dial is wide enough, the hands are long enough, and the hands are wide enough. Absolutely great. I have no complaints at all. Let's have a look how the watch looks at night. Unfortunately, I didn't switch off my blue backlight, so you have some blue light reflections here. The Arabic numbers, which you can see in the light white here, are not covered with Lume. That's of the blue light in the back, but you can see the outer bezel has Lume. You can see the hour indexes, you can see the dot on the second hand as well as the minute and the hour hand, and you can see the difference between the hour and the minute hand. Throughout the night, let's dim it a little bit. Yeah, throughout the night, it doesn't make any issue. I can perfectly read it without glasses, without light. So a watch which is really nice for me. By the way, you again see the video control light, so please ignore it when you see a red light flashing up. Due to the small bezel, the watch appears really big on the wrist at night. So from the night view, I would say the watch is too big for me. However, this big appearance at night makes the watch extremely good readable. So I personally do like it, and I wished other watches would have gone the same way, provide a big dial, long and bright and wide hands to provide a really great night view. I don't need a Lume which is extremely bright for the first 30 minutes. Usually I'm awake the first 30 minutes after it gets dark. I need a watch which is readable 3, 4, 5 hours after it turned dark. The bezel operates perfectly well. It is a solid click, no play to either direction, and according to my perception, it is absolutely perfectly aligned. So you can see it here, and depending on the angle I turn the watch, it appears to be a little bit more to the left or right, but from the top view it is perfectly aligned. The crown is a screw down crown, smooth to operate, absolutely well done. And let's see how the hands are set. I do know some of you want to know if the hands are set properly, so let's stop the second hand at 12, nearly hit, and move both hands to the 12 o'clock position and see how the hands are set. As far as I am concerned, the job done here is perfect. The hands are set very well. There is no play to either direction. The minute hand completely covers the hour hand, so I don't think this could have done better, and this is what I would expect from a watch which retails at 1,290 euro, which is not the cheapest possible watch you can get, but I do like it, and I really like the quality I got for the money I paid. I would be interesting to hear what you think about the watch. Have you seen it before? Have you ordered it? Best case, do you own one? Do you share my views? What's your view on the watch? Would you like to have one? Would you like Laco to go ahead with these kind of watches and add more to their portfolio as an unlimited edition. All this, share it with me, flood my comment section, and let me know what you think about the watch. Here we have the Laco Edition 96 again, a watch which I really do like, and I plan to do a comparison between the Ninja Samurai of the Psychos, which is a black and white watch as well, or maybe even with the blue Laco Sports Atlantic. Share with me what you would prefer. I've made up my mind already, but maybe you are able to change it or influence whatever I want to do. Thank you very much for watching my video. Stay safe, enjoy your collection. Cheers. Axel.